lecturers, you also leave the system. Because it will not be one way. Because one person, I'm coming, one person cannot commit a crime. Crime can be committed by one or two persons. Because if you're going to commit a crime, somebody will aid you in the process. If you saying that only lecturer you'll be looking at, then what about the students?
So Alexander Cummings, I hope you watching. Joseph Boyka, I hope you looking. Joe Weah, I hope you looking. I hope you looking. Sarah Besto, all of them. And the end of resolution not be done, they will be shot. Prosecute all government officials. Declare your assets. The two things. Don't give government contract to government officials. The three things. The unfair distribution and the regional trouble can catch. The minister must not own companies that supply a ministry with ring of sheep. And the private sector people will live. Mr. Kennedy, everybody Kennedy now. Sign on the three things. We give it to the press, civil society, the religious people, then we see CCAP, the military. It's going to go to the end. And besides, we're going to notarize it. You know how people notarize document is for the is one reason for notarization is for the state to willing to be a party to attest the agreement. So we will enter into a contract and notarize. If we notarize this instrument, we give it to the people in the district, they will have copies.
Is our right to be on the roadside to justice for justice. So everybody passing will know that Lucas attempted to murder our sister in West Africa. And he knows he cannot do that in the US. He killed babies and then was cutting the neck of a mother. How can you do that? A wife that you married. And he knows in the state of Iowa it's illegal for you to get married. But we don't trust our justice system. So we at the church, like the church, need to know the truth.
I bring my medical background to this here. So if you are sick and you went to the hospital, there are two models that they will treat you from. The first model is called the allopathic model. The second model is called the homeopathic model. In the allopathic model, let's say you have a headache. You go in as a symptom. The symptom is there. The doctor says, okay, you have a headache. So the doctor provides for a remedy. You probably say, okay, give you paracetamol. Now paracetamol will take that headache away. Once it's gone away, then that paracetamol has provided a relief.
As small as District 13 is, we have a little over 115 ghettos. In each of those ghettos, you will have a little over 50 persons. Among those 50 persons, 90% of them are young persons. So just imagine if you have 50 times 115 times 6, imagine what will happen to the future of Liberia will be in serious danger. 115 ghettos in District 13
is frustrating and stimulates anger. Let me urge all Liberians, especially Liberian political leaders, to resist the temptation to see anything or take any action that could undermine the fragile peace that we have. We must at all times act within the scope of the law. Statements such as nobody has monopoly over violence or we will forcefully resist, whether there will be Arab Spring in Liberia, are statements that have the potential to incite the youth to political violence. These terribly threatening statements on the use of political violence made by Honorable Joseph N. Walker and Senator Prince Wright Johnson violate the letter, spirit, and intent of the Farmington Declaration. We call on all Liberians, including members of the Unity Party Alliance, to condemn these two politicians for such reckless and irresponsible statements.
Mr. Ure told me we can put 15,000 people in the street. I wasn't going to put 15,000 people in the street to kill people because people were armed. We heard at Coca-Cola factory, they were there waiting. Was I going to allow people to destroy the country, kill people because of me? No. Let them see it. And believe you me, if I think that country at that time, I won't be late.
Maybe because the government is candidate in the race also. That's why some of these people have not been invited to explain the statement that they make. When you threaten the very existence of the country, President Paul, if you don't win, because the version of fairness is that they don't win, that if you don't win, then it ends the country as we know it. Such people need to be called to explain those statements. And the National Security Agency, we have to stop playing politics because every word we say during this campaign we're prepared to repeat them on October 11th or the day after the second round and the day after inauguration.
Our legal team has been appropriately instructed to review all of the legal implications associated with the release of the CCTV footage of the UP's tender bearer, and they will advise appropriately.
At the first round, we call for absolute majority of the vote, meaning you have 50% plus one, then you win the first round, meaning there's no second round. If no candidate obtained absolute majority, 50% plus one in the first round, a second ballot shall be conducted on the second Tuesday following the announcement of the results of the first ballot. Second Tuesday, I will end it. I don't have to go all the way down. Second Tuesday following the announcement of the result of the first ballot. If you need to plan for elections second round, the time the law telling you we need to conduct the second round, do you expect for us to get the money after announcing the results?
I don't promise and don't fulfill my promise. Like I said, it was in the United Nations, I will not go third because I believe in democracy. You will decide. There is someone from our party, of course. I believe in women participation, and you have a vice president. I've been working with them. And I pray that after our second term, in our third term, the vice president will propose the government so we can bring more back.
The slowdown in global economic growth continues to be a challenge. Over the past 12 months, Liberia has made progress in areas ranging from health, education, gender equality, and infrastructure development. We are proud of our achievements in reducing
1, 2, 3, I'm loving you.
4, 5, 6,
I'm missing
7, 8, 9. And we are back again on this 28th day of September 2023 election year in Liberia. Good afternoon. And thank you so very kindly that you join us for the show Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakatamagibi County. And also, you can log on to our online radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. Facebook, place in the search box Voice of Liberia, and you are in. My name is Sam Andrews. Another day, another presentation.
you and me and how great we used to be. Oh, and I firmly believe of turning all these dreams to reality. And like a child, I would say it's so easy to you. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6, I miss you. I want you back. 1, 2, 3, I love you. 4, 5, 6, I'm missing you. I want you back. Here with a marker, yeah.
Okay, thank you so very much that we are together again on this great day of all of us, great country for all of us, of all of us, with all of us. Thursday, September 28th, 12 days to go to balloting, 12 days for the political parties, independent candidates to wrap up, 12 days to be convinced that from legislative perspective, presidential perspective, you will be elected. 12 days to everything, 12 days to close. Ballot papers, according to the National Elections Commission, coupled with other materials, are already in the country. The stage is being prepared, the field is being prepared for the whistle to be blown. Until then, the preparations, the practices are taking place, the various strategies are in place by all of the parties and independent candidates. And then 12 days, all of these practice sections will have ended. And then the referee, the National Elections Commission, blows the whistle for the game to start. At the close of the day, whoever the whistle blows or whichever direction the whistle will blow, then that is the winner. So we are buoyant, confident of a peaceful, credible, transparent elections, but on the fringe of credibility, transparency, we have to keep the atmosphere peaceful from a campaign perspective. And exactly we're doing that. It is relative for now. I say relative for now because we've heard and seen some minor skirmishes, some sporadic intellectuals and emotional outbursts, but they're not magnitudinal enough, but it doesn't negate the fact that it ought not to happen. But at that level, we appeal to every one of us to suppress our emotion, to avoid any form of violence, to uh, escape temptation, so that the atmosphere with these 12 days to go remain as cordial, as secure, as peaceful, as stable into 2023 October 10th. So, with that caution, let's talk the first bit we've got to talk about. Some of you, if not many, are already aware. We've got the United States, France, Germany, regional countries, almost all of the countries constituting the world, Liberia is germane amongst these countries. Liberia may not have bilateral ties with all of the countries, but it doesn't say they aren't aware of Liberia because significant events take place all around the world with these countries or of these countries. And Liberia, from African perspective, is a significant integral part of all of the African nations. Therefore, having such a significant election or going into a very significant election, the eyes are not only on Liberia, but those who align with Liberia, those who are partners to Liberia by whatever the arrangement, they are very keen and key to see the elections off the ground in a way that will be accredited as righteousness. So, Liberia, let's talk about our partners. We've got our partners who have been helping. Now, these people put their money, their energy, the time, and the resources. But it doesn't say also that we do not give back. Sometimes many will understand it to mean that people just putting the money into Liberia and they are getting nothing in return. It is not possible. From the first day God created the world till now, until the world will come to an end, nobody invests and can get anything from their investment. Every investment must have a return because there is a return on every investment. You don't invest when you know that there will be no return. You invest to get something out. You may invest money, but it doesn't say that you're going to get money back as your dividend. You can get credibility back. You can have good name. You can People can speak of you and a lot more. But your investment, you are reaping the return. So these people will invest and they expect an investment on, a return on their investment. America may put 50 million. It doesn't say that America will need 75 million, profiting 25 million. But that the credibility of Liberia's election is the return of America's investment. It doesn't say if regional countries, regional partners come in, whatever they came from a logistical standpoint, that they will profit financially in return as the return on their investment. But rather, the credibility of the elections is their return on the investment they've made. Just to say it that way so that you know that at the close of the day, when I say day, I mean the election the campaign, that you want to look at it and say, okay, it was this, it was that. You want to give it your own appraisal, just as these people are giving it their appraisal. Given what has happened in other countries that they invest, the same applies to Liberia. Couple of months back, all of us were excited in this country and we were interpreting it, we're intellectualizing it, whichever way we needed to have, and that was good. But we also was not far-sighted to know that the pendulum could shift to Liberia. So when the United States government, through its Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, announced visa restriction for Sierra Leone, we were here interpreting it whichever way we could interpret it, giving it the kind of understanding. Now it has hit Liberia. It has hit Liberia with 12 days to go. The United States government will issue a statement to that effect, saying the United States government is supporting and advancing democracy in Liberia around the world. Today, I am announcing a new visa restriction policy under Section 212A3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act for those undermining democracy in Liberia. This policy will take effect in advance of the upcoming election. Under this policy, the United States will pursue visa restrictions for those believed to be responsible for or complicit in undermining democracy in Liberia, including through manipulation or rigging of the electoral process, use of violence to prevent people from exercising their rights to freedom of association and peaceful assembly, use of measures designed to prevent political parties, voters, civil society, or the media from disseminating their views, or engagement in any other activity designed to improperly influence the outcome of an election. Certain family members of such persons may also be subject to these restrictions. Persons who undermine democracy in Liberia, including in the lead up, during, and after Liberia's 2023 elections, may be found ineligible for U.S. visas under this policy. The statement went further to say the visa restriction policy announced today will apply to specific individuals and is not is not directed at the Liberian people or the government of Liberia. The decision to impose visa restrictions reflects the commitment of the United States to support Liberians' aspirations to have free and fair elections that demonstrate the will of the people and strengthen democracy and the rule of law. To put this in context, here is it. But first, be reminded or be informed. At 3 o'clock, University of Liberia professor Arakofa Claw is in to analyze and dissect some of the issues unfolding and what he got to propose. That will be at 3 o'clock. Liberian University professor Arakofa Claw is in at 3 o'clock. So this comes into effect. The statement is out. It is clear. It is simple. There's nothing ambiguous in it, or the statement is not ambiguous. It is clear that anyone who attempts, anyone who plans, anyone who decides and get into action, this will take full effect. But before then, whenever a statement like this is released, it's not to say, yeah, they release a statement, so it finished. No, the statement is an alike, but the surveillance is already in place. They're checking, they're observing, they're listening, they're investigating. This has gone into full effect. Just to know, I'm trying to put it in context for you. Whenever a statement like this is released, it is not just for mere consumption or information. You have the paper, or we have the paper, and the US government is already, so the paper foreshadows, the action. What that means is, as the paper goes ahead, action is already in effect, and that action is investigation, observation, listening, and a lot more. So it is not that they release the statement, then people ought to act in accordance with the statement. Yes, you have to act in accordance with the statement, but they are doing their investigation. They are listening to various radio stations. Why are they listening to radio stations? Because politicians have access to the radio stations. They are reading the newspapers. They are following events at Hatay centers. They are following the various rallies of political parties. They listen to their public addresses and a lot more. Too many things they are putting together and will validate or have started to validate or to check, so that at the close of the day, when they are taking action, that action will be worth it. Contextually, here's another thing that some people will think that, oh, yes, we are off the hook. It is not for us. I have heard some government people say that it is not directed at us, it is directed at the opposition. But the statement didn't say opposition. The statement is inclusive of everybody, but it takes out institutional action. It takes out institutional action, and it is about individual action. That's why the statement said anybody. It did not say any institution. When you're reading document, you watch the lines, watch the words used, and how those words are structured. So you want to have an understanding. You want to have an understanding. Listen carefully. It said the visa restriction policy announced today will apply to specific individuals, and it's not directed at the Liberian people or the government of Liberia. Government of Liberia used, yeah, in my contextualization or in my understanding from an institutional, that the policy is not directed at institution but individual, because individuals make up these institutions, and what they do is purely individual. A government minister can say some things that undermines the democratic process. An opposition member can say something that undermines the democratic process, that can places a dent on October 10th or leading into October 10th, that could be inimical, that could cause some kind of stir. Now, that person, in his capacity as a person, as an individual, comes into that policy. The institution, they cannot go institutionally because you can close up an institution. Assume that you, a given opposition party did XYZ, or a given government party did XYZ. Can they sanction that party? Can they sanction that institution? No. So common sense will require that you do it from individual perspective. So when I hear some government people say, "Oh, it's not directed at us, it's directed at the opposition," no, you have to go back to the statement and read it carefully. The visa restriction policy announced today will apply to specific individuals, 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 and it's not directed at the Liberian people. Those of you down the line that they can call ordinary people, "Oh, you're just moving. You people are not involved with the day-to-day running of the political stuff of the country." No, you people are not the main players. You people are spectators. You people are the ones who they ought to speak to, like I am speaking to you. So you are not player or players, but you got a part to play, and that part you have to play is on October 10th. So it's not directed at you. They don't see you as somebody that could cause, even though you may have the ability, but no, 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 no. It's not directed at you. Neither is it directed at the government as an institution. So it went further to say the decision to impose visa restrictions reflects the commitment of the United States government to support. Okay, that's the supportive part. So it's for everybody. It is for everybody. If if a political party standard bearer did something or said something that runs contrary to the Constitution, the tenets of democracy, that is inimical to free, fair, credible, and transparent elections, that could alter the atmosphere, given the magnitude of it, the policy, the restriction can come on you. So if the leader, if the leader, if the leader of whatever the political party did that, you can be sanctioned. If a supporter within that political party or independent candidate runs contrary to the norms, you can find yourself there. Moreover, according to the document, that your relatives, you may have a relative who is opting to go to the United States. It can be for whatever the reason, be it academic, be it for stay or family, any other thing. And you can. Some people will think that it's not a strong measure. It is a strong measure. It is a strong measure. It is a deterrent. You may think that they're not taking anybody to put them in some kind of strenuous condition or take them to jail. No, the United States government, United America is a sovereign country. Liberia is a sovereign country, so they cannot determine the course of event here. But as bilateral partner, they can do what they can do from the perspective as a supportive partner, as a supportive partner. So they can't take anybody to jail. They can't do anything extra. No, beyond their perimeter, they operate within a realm. So they say you will not travel to our country. And not only that, people will think that, oh yeah, say, oh me, I want to go to America. Why I gotta do to go to America? I can go in another country. Well, if you know how America works, if you know America's influence, rather, you will not say that. This is a strong measure. This is a strong deterrent. Those who have been placed on previous sanction lists is affecting them badly. It pains. It has psychological burden. It has psychological burden. You can't do anything. Siri Allen, let me give you a classic example. How many times Siri Allen has not boasted? But yeah, he can't see his children, some of those who are out of this country, except for getting on Facebook, talking with them through Messenger or telephone or so. You know how psychologically, how it breaks down psychologically? You can see any one of your family members, or if you have your child or children on that side, you can't see them for a protracted period because you can't just leave. It's more of a praising. It's the same as being in jail. When you have that, that is a depression in itself. So don't allow anybody to fool you saying there's nothing wrong with it. No, no. If I go to America, I can stay here and live my life. No, I don't need to go to America. No, it also applies to your family members. So you want to be protective of your family members. Your family member or member can have some kind of opportunity, and you may not know what you may have said or what you may have done, or you think that it's not strong enough. But at the close of the day, they can put it before you, and then it affects you. So it is a strong measure, very deterrent. It's deterrent one. There where their limitation is. It is the same with this when they place sanctions on some government officials. But say, oh, why you allow the people to contest? They put on sanction list, then they contest in the elections. Said no. It's not the people right to determine who participates or who doesn't participate in an elections. It is purely Liberia's law. Our law say, as partners supporting you, helping you, if you went against our policy and you want to come to our country, having caused problem in your country, and we don't want problem in your country because we are partners, we will not allow you to come here. So you will stay there. If you have anybody here, or you want anybody to come here, your family, they will not happy. You'll stay right there. Whatever the consequence, you will feel it in your own country. That is a strong measure. It's more than when you are in jail. Don't allow anybody to mislead you to say it's not a strong stuff. It is very strong. So that will be doing it for that. So you want to conduct yourselves. Let all of us conduct ourselves right. Let all of us place ourselves in a manner representative of us as a country, representative of our political institutions, representative of independent candidates. We've got to be mindful of what we say, what we do in these campaign periods leading up to October 10th. You want to have a peaceful, credible, fair, transparent elections, but you don't want to cause chaos. There is this expression that people often use, pastors often use for marriage. Whenever they are conducting marriage ceremony, at the close of it, you hear the pastor say, and what God has joined, let no man put asunder. And then most part of the church, whoa, whoa. So their understanding of that expression is that the man, there are people who are outside, those who not part of the married man and woman, they the one will cause a sunder. They the one cause problem. So the man, the woman, there's no problem. That statement there, people ain't understand it good. That the same statement in political context in line with the US statement. That when you political leader, you stand up bearer, or you're independent candidate, or you whatever, you can also put a standard to your own electoral process. Asunder simply means split, misunderstanding, confusion, strife, division, chaos, malice, war, and on we can go. So when you hear the expression when the pastor says, what God has done, and what the Bible says, he is the God of peace, he's the God of stability. So how can God, who is the God of peace and stability, create chaos and misunderstanding? But rather, people who within themselves can create that. He say, what God has joined, let no man put asunder. So the married woman can put asunder. The married man can put asunder. Asunder simply means split. It is that word they call separation. And separation comes from what? Misunderstanding, confusion, strife, and on and on. It simply means to place a dent, to create chaos, to create a hostile environment. So it is the same thing in politics. You can be a part of the electoral process, you sounding patriotic and nationalistic, but at the same time, your statements, your utterances, your actions are inimical, and then you are placing asunder. That means you're trying to cause instability. And then the US statement said, no, no, you will not leave. So that will be doing it for that very shortly. I am told that the professor will be in shortly. So the next thing I want to talk about quickly is CPP slash ANC Alternative National Congress launching today. No, sorry, not today, Sunday, October 1 at the the ATS. We used to Samuel Kando because that's where we play most of our games. That's where we go. So you're sorry. At the ATS, at the ATS. And the promise to pull out the multitudes. I did not say multitude, I said multitudes. So there's a difference. Know it, there's a difference. Those of you who read the Bible, those of you who read the Quran, if you know what if you came across those lines, you know what I'm talking about. Multitudes. Musa Ability made it clear that they will put out the multitudes. That means the entire city will come to a standstill. The entire city will come to a standstill. People will not have the space to move around normally to do what they ought to do or what they were planning to do because there wouldn't be a space. Everywhere, the place will be crowded and overcrowded. Now, you want to give them chance to do their rally? Already the statement is out. I told you American government just don't issue statement and leave it. It is us Liberians who can issue statement and then we leave it. So you hear many people say, "Oh, we have Google laws on the book, but the implementation," and that's true. It means Liberians can write. They know how to write good. As soon as they finish writing, they start jolly in their own writing, then they put it down. The American man, when the American man writes, the American man already planned the action before he starts to write. So when the American man issues a statement, that statement starts with immediate effect with the action. So don't think because they have issued a statement, then everything over. No, they have started doing their groundwork. The Liberian man, when Liberian man read a given document, they put it down. No time for implementation. American man, no. When they write, they start. So you'll be mindful. The people are observing, they are listening, they are watching, they are conducting the investigation. They got their people on the ground together with other countries. If I tell you the number of foreign countries that are in Liberia just for these campaign periods leading up to the election, you will start ABC from all. So you conduct yourselves, people watching your all of us. Let us not take ourselves from there. All of us. That's why I've always placed emphasis on us who are behind the microphone. Because what we say, how we say it, can cause the stir. You know what happened in Rwanda? The man did not take 2, 3 hours behind the microphone. The man used just 2 minutes behind the microphone and used 30 seconds to just utter a word. That word or those words that he uttered, it led to the Rwanda 1994 genocide. And you know how it went. The man just sat him just 5 minutes behind the microphone. 5 minutes. Lead to for us today, we sitting behind the microphone for 3 hours, 4 hours. The man only sat down for 5 minutes. Out of that 5 minutes, the man used 30 seconds to just say few words, cockroaches. So as much as we told the politicians, the presidential candidates and legislative candidates and independent candidates, everybody, all of us have got the responsibilities. And key amongst all of the players from the perimeter that have the responsibility, we who sit behind the microphone, those who write, called the print media, we've got to be very, very careful. Very careful. We are being watched too. We should not be overly excited because the US government issued a statement, so we think it's directed to the politicians, the players in the campaign and going into the election. No, and also, if Sam Andrews says on the radio as he's sitting and start to say some things that will cause some kind of wahala in this country, guess what? You go, they taste them and you say, oh, I get some opportunity. Yeah, I need lead the country, running to the embassy on a visa. Then you go around telling, oh, man, it's just how most Liberians can do. Say, my man, I'll be leaving the country anytime soon. Wednesday, I'm going for my visa to the embassy. You go there, no way. You sit down right here. Then Sam Andrew will be thinking, but why are people denying me? Why? But he will not realize that when he sat down on the radio at certain point in time during the 2023 campaign, he said some things that he needed not to have said. He didn't know that people were listening, they were watching, they were recording. So you want to be very careful. And then the next thing before we turn to Professor Arakofa Claw, university professor, one of the renowned voices in Liberia, one of the renowned political and academic voices. The collaborating, not the collaborating, but Unity Party and the National Elections Commission at in under 15 minutes from now will sit with Associate Justice James Etta Wolo to look at the complaint from Unity Party why the voter roll isn't out. They have not received theirs. The National Elections Commission, after they raised a couple of concerns, would not listen to them and a couple of other issues. The Justice in Chambers cited them for a conference on today. Unity Party argument is the time given according to the law that it be released, the National Elections Commission delay. Now, what happened? That delay now has led to confusion, a confusion. Everybody making some kind of mistake all over this place. The National Elections Commission couldn't say anything definitive. Unity Party assembled and they could not get a favorable redress. So from there, they opted to seek redress with the Supreme Court. And the voter roll is the key in the election. The credibility, transparency rest on it. The people must have an understanding. It should be given to them according to the law, and they got a number of things to do. Also, within that, there will be a time, or they will need time to sought out certain things of the National Elections Commission. So to avoid confusion, so what they did, according to the law, they sought the understanding of the Supreme Court, and James Eto Howard Wolokoli was cited into a meeting on today at 3 p.m. That's in under 15 minutes from now. So let's turn to you now and take a few calls before we turn to Professor Ira Kofa Claw to look at a couple of issues unfolding. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. And you are on Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County, Voice of Liberia 104.1 Morovia, Voice of Liberia, the online radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. Facebook, just put in the search box Voice of Liberia. In front of it, the acronym VOL or in capital, and you will see the logo, blue logo, and then you are in 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. So have your say on any one of our talking points before we turn to the Professor Arakofa Claw. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Sanofi Yoga. I'm calling from the banking system on the airfield. Thank you for putting me the opportunity to speak on the public media. Just what you are just saying, on the media, concerning the words that we Liberians, we have to be very careful, in this election that is about to take place October 10th. Because whatever you say, whether good or bad, it will haunt you tomorrow. You see? Because even if they are going in a death interest, and tomorrow, you as an individual who spoke that word, you will be haunted tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm John Harris from Dixville.
Let's hear you, Mr. Harris.
Yeah. You see what happened? Our son going to school, and some of us don't even know what the war was before they announced the war. And we saw it, we planned that no more it be repeated. So, even the way looking at the time election is slow. The only option here is if you want to postpone the election, that means the president got to step down, we turn the country to rule 10. From there now, after everything, interim government, then we'll have election. But the can show confusion coming. I think things are here. We are afraid. We are afraid.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you, sir. And you?
Yeah, well, my name is Andrew Wisha, and I join you from Barnesville.
Let's hear you, Mr. Wisa.
Yeah, thank you very much. My concern is that we Liberians should put Liberia first above our personal interests. We are not supporting NSA, but we believe the tenor of democracy should work and the way of the people should prevail. There are one side, one opposition of government. Which side the people say that's what's going to happen. And we believe strongly that the government is not intending to do anything funny when it comes to election. And we want to see the opposition. Liberia is the only country we have. 1989 war, people never have had experience when it comes to weapons. And the present day reality can tell you that if anything goes wrong in this country, which we don't pray for, it's going to be a bad one. So we all pray that the election go well and we all make peace. And because after election, we'll still remain Liberians, brothers and sisters. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon. Yeah, you want to move away from the voices.
Yeah, just to conclude. Yeah, my last statement was like we have to promote peace. In everything we do, we have to promote peace.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Gabriel Sako calling from the borough of Kutan to be a service the Bobo Island area.
Let's hear you, sir.
The topic on the discussion, my brother, that we have no fear. The election will be free and fair. There will be no violence. The rest are tired with those stuff. You're looking at talk like you're talking to somebody within what on does by. So definitely we don't concentrate on this. What we know election will be here. Who wins is our president. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my name is Gioto Babon from Broadway.
Let's hear you, Mr. Tukwa.
Okay. It's the Andrew election of the program you're a friend. You me? Election of home. I think I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Andrew.
Good afternoon, sir.
Here is my name. I'm calling for president.
Yeah.
My question to the AEC boss is she not aware of all those things? Is she don't know about all those things over there?
Not knowing about what now, or she's not in the know of what?
Uh, the time is supposed to put all the voter roll up, the voter roll up
Yeah,
all
the law provides 30 days. Yes.
the place supposed to put the voter roll up, the up all the time. It's supposed to carry up awareness, supposed to go around for awareness. Not all this. This is what I'm asking.
Okay. Thank you so much. 70907. Professor Arako Paklo is already in, so in the next few minutes, we turn to him. Good afternoon.
How are you? Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure I work calling from Colorado. So what I want to say to every Nigerian and to Joseph George Manuel, it don't matter because if you win and you have to face the Liberian people, the Liberians will be job, they need to have to be creative. And those most like the opposition are seeking for powerful gesture. And if it's not a power that will vote and just minister for behind you set back as a pillars the one I think like Brimpo one change now and you talk about this like jumping Allah. We watch everybody. If Joshua when we watch Joshua, like Brimpo are tired suffering. Our country is blessed with resources. We need our country to move south.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Hakim Bakar from Grand Kano County.
Uh,
The Pacific friend.
How is going to keep my counter this afternoon, Haji?
It's fine, cool and kind.
Let's hear you.
I'm here working on the people on the United Nations from the American Embassy. So actually, like the man was saying yesterday, the state, the thing that the men don't, how they call the election commissioner, they will call recipe for chaos, they will call recipe for this. Anyway, no recipe for any chaos in this country. We all started now. Anyone you take the street, people will come after you to welcome that statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. All right. Thank you for spicing up the first lap of the show. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Morovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County, the online radio www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, Facebook, just put in a search box Voice of Liberia, and very shortly you're going to have Voice of Liberia, Voice of Liberia Bone, Voice of Liberia Bakolu, Voice of Liberia Nimba, until the 15 counties is covered. You list today is the 20th day of September. We've got 12 days according to the National Elections Commission. We got 12 days to balloting, 12 days to October 10th. So now, thank you ever so much. Let me turn now to my guest who is into crisscross of issues. He is one of the renowned voices in Liberia, an academic or academic. Uh, he teaches at various universities, and he is also a politician. Nobody can be devoid of politics. He's also a politician. Many times I hear people say, "Oh, I'm not a politician," but you are clothed in political issues. You delve into political issues in the in the house, politics is there. In the car, in the office, everywhere. But anyway, I think they just prefer to mainstream politics. He is Ara Kofa Club. Thank you ever so much for coming in, Professor Klo. I appreciate it, accepting my invite. And let me say good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, saying good afternoon, and I want to appreciate the Voice of Liberia family for my second appearance. At the same time, I want to welcome everyone who is sitting on our voices to listen to what we want to give out to the Liberian people. Thank you very much.
So we've got 12 days to go. We go straight into the issues. We've got 12 days to go. And what's your observation of the campaign for these political parties? You may not be opportune to crisscross everybody as per your observation, but you went through a couple of them. How did you see it going with just 12 days to go?
Well, thank you again. The political arena is spicy, and at the same time, the campaign is real booming. And what I saw from those who carry out their campaign and the rest of that, I think the campaign was so calm. There's no fracas as in the past where you see different political group come together, begin to, cause problem here and there. CDC had their campaign rally and launch. It was very, very okay. There was no problem. At the same time, UP had theirs. There was no problem. Even the media was applauding. At the same time, the police was applauded for their job well done. There was no issue that another group went there to disturb. I think communists expected also ANC to have their own on Sunday. So we believe that as things going on, we believe the the election will go on fine. Unlike the others are begin to intimidate the public um, by way of psychology, because once you are saying things that will create psychological problem, means that you trying to fuel and bring confusion within the political landscape of our country.
So you saying simply, they understand these statements, the people behind them, they understand what they're going to know what they're doing. So it is a mind game to get the people attention on them.
Yeah, in the election, you will see that lot of statements that will create psychological effect on the minds of the people. Let's just take, for instance, the statement being used by uh, Senator Prince Johnson. I believe is psychological. When you are dealing with people, you want to play on their mind. It also creates an havoc. And, we have heard those things before. Though in the time of Charles Taylor, it works. So he wants to use that mean as well to make it work.
Intimidation tactic or
Yeah, it's a scare tactic he's
scare
using.
tactic.
Yeah, it's a scare tactic he's using. But you can remember 1997 when it was well pronounced that if you don't vote for Taylor, there'll be another round of war. So it better let everybody gravitate on that side and just so seize the tension. So he's using that other means to ensure that people now will begin to attend. I think, once all of them on the other side, those who prosecuted the war before, in as much they are on the other side, and they are saying that if there will be a rigging, and there won't be any Liberia anymore, there will be a serious war. So it could play on the minds of the people. So I think when they are saying that way, it's much better that let's just give it to them and to avoid the tension, to avoid running here and there, so we cannot go back to the dark days and the rest of that. But those strategy, they are dead on arrival. These are only time speed. Kind of speed Liberia and prepare for that. So I think you see and you heard how people begin to debunk the kind of statement that they have used. You know, Senator Johnson used that statement. He made that same remark, and even the presidential aspirant from the Unity Party side, he also used that identical statement as well to allude to what Johnson has said. He added up in the when he was addressing the people in Grand Bassa. Though other people say, "Oh no, that only time remarks that he had made it was in June," and people, and they call it begin to justify. But notwithstanding, we believe that it's not a good statement. Liberia is for every one of us, and I believe we all need to work together to make the election foul and free, the election be peaceful, election be transparent, and after election, we will always meet on the Broad Street, Kerry Street, Ashmore Street, how you may call it, to the various attire centers and the rest of that, even on the various school campuses. So why is the big deal? And it's a 1 day thing. After that 1 day, everybody will just begin to celebrate. And at the end of the day, we put it behind us and just make it Liberia to be our focus. How can we now move Liberia from point one to point two, where this government is doing our best, striving to ensure that Liberia get to a level among the community of nations?
Talk about post election, post October 10th, vis a vis the government that will take the day. What tax they will be faced with? What will be their priority,
Well,
given what we have presently?
as I see things, as I always said, in the last time we were in the studio, quoted a Bible voice to you if you can still remember. I talk about John 14:27 that talks about peace. When Jesus was living, he said, "Oh, my peace I live with you, not the peace of the world, but let not your heart be troubled." So the government that will be coming in, what they're going to fix is how best can they make peace and bring everyone under one umbrella. Because that's the first and foremost thing, because the election now brought about division, has brought about other problems amongst family, among friends, among churches, within the various communities. So if you took over as a leader now, the first and foremost thing, how do you call a palaver hot meeting with the issue of peace? Because peace first and peace last. That should be our understanding. So after you might have brought peace, after the election, begin to preach peace. Even in your inaugural address, it must be peace, the first thing. And having said so, the next thing is to see how we can improve the security system that we are holding on to it.
It sounds so pleasant as you explain it on paper, but the practical aspect,
Yeah, the issue of being practical.
won't it be a Herculean tax?
Yeah, it is true. It would be a very big. It depends on the kind of strategy you want to apply. Because if you want to bring peace and bring everybody under one umbrella with the understanding of peace, it should start from you who's going to take over as a leader. And when you take over as a leader, from your speech will tell the Liberian and the international community that you are prepared to take Liberia to another level in terms of peace. So it depends on you as the leader who is taking over, because peace is the cardinal issue for Liberia.
And the
And
reason why I want you to spend a little time on the Professor Claw, you have to look at it from your discipline. You have a full insight dealing with people and issues and conflict resolution and a lot more. Now, if you look at if you look at the two elections we had prior to this one, the campaign was not as tense and with grudge rising high, people going into people past, they're bringing this one up, they're bringing that one up. And like you rightly said, families are divided, churches are split, husband and wives are on the other side. So it's growing like a mountain. Zulema. So how how that's going to, it's not going to be very, very difficult. People are not going to live with grudge for the rest of their lives against people.
the reason for why you are seeing the election being so tense up is that the first thing, the opposition, there is the last chance, most especially when you look at Unity Party, there's a large chance of Ambassador Boyka. So a failure to get to the seat, it means that he doesn't have any other opportunity anymore.
He's out of Liberia's politics, except for history.
Yeah, it means that he has been retired for good now. So now every one of them from that side, they want to do everything possible to ensure that Ambassador Boyka should realize his dream. Because he will not have any other chance like a young person anymore. The time is gone, age wise, political wise, he will no more. And Unity Party will not be ready now to say, look, let's showcase him in 2029. They will not be prepared for that. So you see, that's the reason you see the tension is so rising up. And notwithstanding, those who are going on the other side, they want to prove a point, like the like of King Johnson, the like of Boneke, aka Boneke, they call him
Meton Blai, Joshua Meton Blai.
Joshua Meton Blai. And the rest of them, they want to prove a point that yes, indeed, in as much we are on this side, we can make it happen for Ambassador Boyka. So their failure to make that dream come true, people will look at them in another way. So for the reason,
as failures.
Yeah, as failures. So for that reason, they want to fight by all costs. So these are the things. That's the reason you see the tension is mounting every day, every minute, in every hour. It's like you and I, I've told you, son, I can make it happen for you because they are already informed Ambassador Bogelo, no matter what you were getting. So resting on that, they have to do everything possible. So they will come up with statements that will intimidate people. They will come up with other one that will make people scared. They will come up with the other one. We consider those things, as I said earlier, as a scarce tactics.
But amongst the two, just oppose the two people numbers as the campaign. Take out the message. Just look at the number. Who, from your observation, is pulling the number moving into October 10th?
My brother, let us be very, very real to ourselves. CDC never died. The number of CDC never died. It will continue to grow from strength to strength between you and I. Most especially when you see the first-time voters, they are outweighed the new number, the old numbers. So, my brother, go through the length and breadth of this country. The number of CDC will continue to grow. Just imagine when the president was in Lofa. Yesterday, you saw what happened. So, the idea, the number remain constant of CDC. The number remain constant no matter what. I see it. Other people might see it different way, but I see it. But at the final whistle, CDT will still take the day. So you see.
So in terms of the number or numbers, Unity Party is trailing behind CDC. And if it remains that we're going into October 10th, there's every likelihood that CDC will emerge victorious.
Obviously, it's something that is signed and stamped that CDC will be victorious at the end of the day. So now, you see,
but they claim to be pulling the crowd. They will claim that everywhere Joe Barker goes, GMB goes, the multitude.
Thank you, Sam. If you know you are pulling the crowd and the crowd is for you, why should you cry foul? Why should you cry? Why should you carry out scare tactics? Why will you say, if I know that they cry for me, why should I be telling the referee, the spectator, everybody with me and have the team?
But cleaning and sharing, giving out the voting roll as required by the law, it's not about crowd.
No.
It is from where their suspicion comes out.
No, Sam, even if you were raising suspicion, there is a way that you will say it. Then people will know that you are professional, you are a very good politician. But if you want to use that means to scare people, it's a different ball game. Let's put it this way. I'm an opposition. Let's put it this way. Voter roll should have been brought within 3 days. or within 5 days, he had not been brought, it is my prerogative to ascertain. But I cannot look at you as if you were the head of the law you want to cheat. You are cheating you after. So you have placed my reputation on the line. So I should try as much as possible to defend myself. Like somebody was telling me we had an argument and said they had had a press conference day before yesterday and kicking the journalists up and the rest of that. I said, yeah. So somebody said David was right. As a journalist, you cannot just come and say, look, the way you are delayed, it seems that you want to cheat. So I have the right to check you up. Because the fact that as a journalist, when you are asking a question, you got to balance it. Because if you bring the person repetition on the line publicly, that person has every right to defend their reputation. So the thing that is a simple thing. The opposition has every right to request by law the voter roll. Yes. But it depends how you go about it. So the way you will go about it, then now people will know that you are now up to a very good thing because you must do it in a very good faith. Madam Election Commission, we are from so and so party of opposition group. We need the voter roll. Could you please supply us with the voter roll? It's required by law.
But they did that. They
Yeah.
went through the protocol, and according to DeLong, that she will not give them attention, though they had a brief meeting. But in that meeting, she walked out. So from there, they started to suspect that she had something under her sleeves. Why
Same.
wouldn't she want, in accordance with the law that provides 30 days, to provide the voter registration
Yeah.
rule?
Same. You were not there. I was not there. They are supplying the information to you. It depends how you go there. I'm saying you're not getting my point. You're not getting my point. Even if you have your right, you have your right to life. And so because you have a right to life, you have to insult people the way you approach them. Your approach must be very moderate.
As much as you have legitimate claim,
Thank you.
your conduct should.
You should conduct yourself very well when you are requesting for the voter roll. But you cannot be requesting at the same time making derogatory remarks. So it could put me in any position it left with me how to respond to you because it has some psychological issue as well. So when you are dealing with those kind of issues psychologically, you have to be sober-minded as well. Because fire cannot call a fire at the same time. So you don't know which position she was in for which you went there to the way you approach her. Because the approach of every person, it can bring either cause chaos or cause peace.
Yeah, when all of the commissioners in a delicate situation,
Yeah.
the whole world eyes
I'm looking
on
at
them.
them.
So their reputation is at stake, as the commission's reputation at stake, and the credibility of the poll.
Thank you. So they said there's so many ways you can kill a rabbit. You gotta be skillful when you want to. If you think that they want to cheat, so that's a way that you will approach them as well to know how to get them. But if you went there, say, look, the way I look at you delay, you want to cheat. It's not a good approach. It is not a good approach. Or what you want, you need a voter roll. So if you want a voter roll, you must approach the issue in the best way possible because you don't want confusion. What we are saying, and I'm saying in the studio, is peace. That I always told those people when I'm talking to people about the president, that vote for the president. I said, I'm not going to name or if it was fee, if it gave free education, if it rules, but the cardinal thing the president doing for which I want you. Because some nigga asked me, why we should vote for President? I said, look, you are voting for president because of the peace he maintained. Like a guy must say, on the KK, we had a discussion. He said, no, but the peace is not from Georgia. It's a bring people peace. I said, that's good. I love that. But when it is negative, then the government. But when it's positive, then it's bring people. So how can you reconcile the two? Everybody in the KK begin to laugh. He couldn't reconcile the two. I said, when it's positive, when people say, hey, because of Georgia, this thing happening, because only administration, oh, no. That Labrampo holding out, Labrampo doing this. But when it becomes negative, even the KK driver, then he say, okay, all the people that die, you can say that government. What you can say that Labrampo killing them, but you can say the government. The fellow couldn't talk again. I said, KK guy, thank you so much. Yeah, as the guy say, what is your level of education? I say, I'm a high school graduate. I said, see, your power of analysis. Yet the man is a BSc man, he's a master holder. See how he's taking the issue. Because you cannot, if we are saying the law, shall we maintain the peace? First, everybody goes, yes. Then they talk about, oh, but peace were there before. I said, no. The peace we had during Manasali time is a combination. The Liberians and the international body that were here.
Ombe.
You had the president of Ombe. So for the reason Liberian people they begin to restrain themselves. But under this government, you only have the police, the army. You don't have any other backup. If the president was a ruffian or a ruthless person, then we don't have peace. Because how many security have you checked the police, the strength of the police? They cannot reach 5,000 or 6,000. The strength of the army, they cannot reach 10,000. They cannot hope. But the president, because he's not a ruthless president, he's a man who believes in peace and love. That's the reason today we are enjoying the peace of Liberia.
Let's move to the United States government statement released by its Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken. Visa restriction on those who will attempt or undermine the democratic process now into October 10th, after October 10th.
Yeah, same. The thing is obvious. The statement is a general statement. Because what the Americans are looking at, or the State Department is looking at, is that the issue of democracy is not for one person. The issue of democracy is not only the government or the state government. The issue of democracy is the collective effort of the people within the jurisdiction of that nation. So if we are talking about democracy, you guys, oh, it's not the government. So if they didn't do it, if anything happen, they will hold them. Now your role you will play also can hold you as well. As a non-governmental personnel. So every one of us should speak to the issue of peace. Anything that comes from your mom will be peace. Should not be issue that will go contrary to the democratic process of this nation, or that will derail the democratic process of this nation. Because we always say, peace first, peace last. Because peace is the only thing Jesus left with us. That way he made a promise. He told you, myself, he said, my peace I live with you. So anyone who believes in that Bible voice will always maintain peace, like the president.
Is visa restriction a strong deterrent?
Yeah, to some extent, because where do you go? Because most Liberians, every other thing they want to go to the States. After election, every I come to go to America. And most of those are even have the American passport as well. So if you think that you are beyond the closet and to cause chaos, they are watching you as well. And we are watching one another. Let me tell you one thing. You may not know sin. Probably you might be in the corner fomenting problem that the democratic process will not go on. Or somebody somewhere looking at you. So by the time election comes and gone, and you are one of the person that caused the problem, but you are not visible. People somewhere by the time you want to go, going to the American embassy, to apply for visa, somebody will write. I sent 100 man, he was there, he was that, and they get a tip off. She was saying by the time you get it, you're sorry. So that's it. So what we are seeing, the issue of democracy, it is the collective effort of every one of us. Whether you were a me player in politics or we are not a me player in politics, you and I will hold together and ensure that the democratic process of this nation must be realized. The election must be free and fair. The election must be violent free. That every one of us, after election, we should jubilate together.
Will it be free, fair, and credible?
Well, to some extent, yes. But don't forget to know that what people don't know. There is no election in the world and challenge anybody that is free and fair. There are a lot of elections. If you go to America, there will be some problem. Some irregularity will be taking place. No election in the world. I challenge that same. I challenge anybody. And let them give me the elections. The America we are boasting of, they always had a problem. From Obama time to Biden time. Even at the time of Al Gore, you can remember. So there will always be problem. But what they are talking about, the problem should not be so huge. But there will be some irregularities. But that irregularity should not lead you that will bring civil unrest. But some minor irregularity, that irregularity. One there is one thing missing, and election are being held and results were given. But one thing is missing, it's still not fair. So when people talk about free and fair, you know what they call fair? What you so be is free. Free in the sense that when people are in the queue, nobody should go there and disturb them. That be free about it. But the word fair, there will be some irregularity one way or the other. But it should not be as much as any other thing that will create chaos or that will bring civil, as I said.
Who going to win the first ballot? You know who going to win the first ballot? Unity Party, CDC, ANC, MPC, CPP/ANC.
Listen, don't leave the other people. These people are just 000.
No, they are significant,
No, they
Professor
are.
Claw.
No, you're not
Eh,
getting my point. You're not getting my point. We are just here to waste our time, Liberian as a whole. That's what I was telling my younger brother yesterday with some guy. He said, yeah, that idea is a very good idea. I said, we need to introduce that idea. Political parties, prior to election, they got to go through primary as well. So those that will be the highest number that the two parties will hold
to reduce the number?
to reduce the number. So election commission will still work as much as possible to recommend that to election commission before the electoral laws that before election, probably 4 or 5 months to election or a year to election, let us see how we can reduce the parties.
But the field isn't crowded. 2023.
It's too much. 20 presidential candidate, it's too much. See? It's too much. I think we can have 2 or 3 would not be bad, but to have 20, firstly, it's a spoiling of money, that waste of resources. See the long ballot paper. So you know what you're talking about?
And if there is a second round, another huge expenditure.
And there we go. So if you had 2 political parties, I think the possibility of somebody just winning on the first ballot is better. But you know, as you may know from 2005 to present, you know, Georgia always on the first ballot. So it is obvious that it is obvious that one round victory is certain
So
for the president.
you aren't dismissive of the other political parties below CDC and Unity Party, but the numbers won't allow them to get closer.
Nah, some will be to 0.0000 before it's 8.1. Yes. You know, Muller from America, almost in the 70s. He contested and when they asked him, he said, no, we didn't win, but we made news. So most people want to make news, to be known. I said, I could put my ballot there, I could put myself there. Because same, the registration for being or to be a presidential candidate is very minute. Like what senator, like what representative. So you see, every tongue does an average. So I want to be this. Other country, you know what you're talking about? To register. So same, we play phone in this country. So every tongue they can Eric can just come from anybody if you need your driver, oh my I went wrong.
So it means you will find it very reasonable if some provisions can be made, if modifications can be made within the electoral law to reduce the field, look at some criteria,
Just say it.
and a lot more.
Yeah, but same, the only way you can do, as I said, primary. The same way, if you have your political party and a lot of people that want to run for representative, senator, and blah blah, so you can go for primary. It's the same. The electoral law is you can't go for any other qualification again or other criteria. You all go for primary. People made an announcement. Okay, all those in favor that you want for or NPC to be a party. Put your hand up. You send the ballot around. The highest number will be the one being erased. They will set a skill that you should acquire this number before you can go on the ballot paper as a political party. That's it.
You go with the one round victory politics?
So there's nothing bigger than God. Yes, it works. You know,
No, I'm not asking for the imputation of theology into it. Do you
why
do you subscribe to the one round victory
it is
politics?
possible. Yes,
Do you subscribe to it?
yeah. Looking at the fuel, looking at the fuel, and looking at things moving with the issue of CDC, the possibility of one round victory is certain.
Hasn't that statement caused stir, stay causing stir and embarrassment for the National Elections Commission? When everybody opting, everybody preaching, everybody trumpeting one round victory.
Yeah, but all the parties said it. So why would the election commission responsible? All of them said it. Comey said it, UP said it, and CDC said it. Even if I'm not mistaken, one of the parties then they said it as well. So why will you now come on and say, look, because
It wouldn't have or not having any bearing going into October 10th, given our political system or our permutation that one party cannot win a first round?
no, Sam, it is possible. I could have a party, but I could be here that I have a party running. But I could go in there ballot box and say, I carry St. Andrew. Yes, it is possible. Probably just to reduce the level of the electorate from the other side. So when they see me, they say, oh, yeah, clown outside. So hello, we can talk, look, gentlemen. I just put myself on the ballot paper. That's my money I used.
But eh, eh, how wrong or undemocratic will be if a political party say, yeah, we will win, we are confident of victory, then we will win first round when the the geography can give you a first round.
Sam, this issue is not an issue of
So that's why some people are attributing it now to some of the things that are coming up about,
but,
oh yeah, the election is going to be this way, it will be
yeah,
that way.
but Sam, if you were an opposition and I was a ruling party, and I told you that saying one round victory is certain for me, then you come also and say, look, Sam, you are joking. I'm from the opposition bloc. I know what I'm talking about. One round victory is certain for me. So what's the difference there? I listened to comments. It was, I think, last month. He said it's a mess. The CDC is talking for the fact that they are talking about one round victory. But at the end of his statement, he said, I said I will get one round victory. So you see the contradiction? You see the contradiction? I listened to him clear.
Can every one of them win first round?
How do you mean that one person can win first round? And
But everybody, according to you, claiming first round.
yes, if we are going for a football game, and all the things are clear, I will win. But at the end of the one person got to win. So if everyone is claiming that we will have one round victory, then it's clear that somebody can get one round victory. So there's no big deal for you to accuse the referee or the match commissioner that they were cheat. If you are making a claim,
And your political analysis has it that CDC will win first round.
indeed.
So you're putting your bet on CDC first round victory.
Yeah, percent. It is clear. You know what it's clear for? You know what we said it for? The president, the incumbent, won 14 counties in the 2017. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me, Sam? Why are you looking at me? Why are you staring at me? I'm saying the 2017 election, the president, the incumbent, won 14 counties. Now, here is the new story now. 12 counties, or the other county that he didn't win, are split. So that alone gave you
They are split.
the county
So
split.
means the
Never
vote
split.
split. Mean the vote's going to be shared.
That vote will be added to CDC. So indicative of that, and what we are saying, the president going to win one round. That one round victory.
Won't it be divided? What are the counties?
Lofa was the
What are
only
the
one.
counties?
The only one the president couldn't win in some part of Nima. So these two counties split. Yes.
So to win, and you need
if,
to win the ballot.
yeah,
To win the ballot, you need those counties. You need those vote-rich counties.
that's it. The two counties, and they are
And
already there.
already
They are
there's
already there.
crisis.
They are already there. If you go Lofa now, Ambassador Barker, it is possible he could win 60%, but a certain job will win 40 to 50%. In Lofa, I'm telling you, mark my words, you will see the result. In Nimba is split as well. So because Senator Prince Johnson is losing ground, so you will begin to cry foul, you begin to use that scare tactics to get the people confused because you want attention. That we're wet Liberia. There will be a raking. Even he didn't use Evo, he said there will be a rake. He said, can you imagine that? He didn't use.
You think CDC will put so much emphasis, attention on Lofa, on Nima, given what has been going on and still going on, that they wouldn't settle for, okay, if we can get 500 or 5,000 or 3,000 or 2,000 or 1,005 votes from here, okay? Yeah.
Come
You think
again.
they wouldn't settle for that?
Come again.
That given what has been unfolding
Mhm.
politically, you are aware of Nemba, Lufa, the Boaga factor, the how they call him, uh, Prince Johnson, the Kong factor.
They are
You don't
losing ground
think
already. Those guys,
CDC will just say, okay, it will be how we can win it outright. So whatever the votes we can get from there, fine.
but
You
I
think?
was saying, Nimba is split. So if we cannot get the 100%, we must get 60 or 40%. That one's the same.
And if you can
If possible,
substantial votes from those
if
areas,
possible,
the
if you pay
likelihood of winning will be very high.
no, we must get it. It's clear. The thing is clear, Sam. You can see the handwriting on the wall. The Nima people read it now to go beyond George Weah. Prince Johnson have lived his usefulness.
He's no longer the political godfather for Nimba County.
That thing in the past. Prince Johnson just living on past glory.
Doesn't have the relevance any longer politically.
He may have, but it may not be to the level it was. He may have. But if it was 75, I mean, it was 80 or 95%, he had reduced to 65%.
That hair has been turned over to Jeremiah Kuhn. He's seen as the political godfather, and that is being nurtured by Prince Johnson.
Jeremiah Kuhn has just come into the fray. And what has he done so much for the people of Nimba? Jeremiah Kuhn have been propped up by CDC. It's a handmaid of CDC behind the scene. He was just forced by Prince Johnson because that's the only one he could deal with. Because the other people would not listen to him. But he knows that Jeremiah Kuhn is of CDC behind the scene.
Would it be a surprise for you if uh, CDC didn't get the kind of number they need to get? Put it the other way. Will it be also a surprise if CDC swept Lofa, Nimba?
If CDC was sweep Nimba,
Either way.
you want to be so same. Probably you're not still following me. CDC has done her work and she continue to do her work. The people of Nimba, the people of Lofa, they are ready to give Georgia another time.
This is not the first time we have seen that. You're looking at development, but there are other existential factors that are currently playing.
Such as what? Such as what? And let me tell you one thing. Today, let me bring it to your attention. The role the president has played in the life of the people of Nimba and Lofa. Only those who are from the belly of ingratitude will turn their back on the president. And I can remember Do that research as well. In the 60s, General Fangalo was an orator for the July 26. He used the topic that ingratitude is the result of Liberia where they are today. Just imagine in the 60s. Joey already played a game. So those that want to show that ingratitude to him, God himself will not allow them go free. The president, he has an open mind for everyone. What is happening in Lofa? Wish of the president from 1847 had done that. Remember what is happening. Those roads that have been laid by this president from 1847, which of the president had done that.
If Unity Party wins,
unless they want to show ingratitude, I continue to say, which of course the people from Lofa, the people from Nimba, they are not people who believe in ingratitude. They are grateful people.
If Unity Party wins, will you interpret it as free fed?
I will not understand that question you are talking about because I'm sorry.
It's not possible.
Unity Party cannot get to that head.
It's not possible.
No, they are not going anywhere. This is what they are crying for. They are not going anywhere.
So the election is a done deal for CDC.
And dear brother, on the 11th and the 12th of October, celebration, even on the 11th celebration will start. And this song will be sung. See what God has done. The thing you were waiting for.
That's the song.
That is a celebration song in waiting now.
That's what you already planned.
That's it. See what God has done. The thing we are waiting for. It has come to pass.
So Unity Party can win the election.
No.
Will not win.
No.
Not possible.
But that's why they are crying. See all sort of things. See, you can see what it can look in the soccer world. When two teams going to play, even those are here, I can be supporting the other team there outside Liberia. We can be crying, oh, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, we finish be there. Oh, Baka cheated. What they can say, and they say the people can cheat for Baka. The day Baka was winning. He said Baka can cheat. Baka can go to the match commissioner do that.
Can the National Elections Commission favor everything in favor of CDC? Can they do that?
It's not possible. How would that be? It's not possible. Their credibility on the line. Their reputation is on the line. So why would they want to go into that kind of I mean, they cannot do that. If you wanted to do it, the senatorial election would have been the precedent. And it's a precedent as well.
And the Unity Party because and the other parties.
The senatorial election is not any kind of big deal that they couldn't cheat and so look, let's cheat and don't get away.
And the Unity Party and the other political parties won many of the seats. CDC was very dismal.
Right. The question I'm asking you, they should have set an example. Then the people have made reference. You see what is happening? Now they are not making reference today. You see, the same as I said earlier. Anything of negative, they say the comment. But anything of positive, then they take the glory for themselves.
And prior to that, CDC didn't complain of vote rigging or anything suspicious, but they said all through that their victory was going to be a tsunami.
Yes.
And when they lost, when the National Elections Commission announced the results, they outrightly accepted it and said that they were going to recalibrate and move ahead for the next elections, which is this one.
Simple as that. So, son, it is very simple. I want to continue to say, son, if election commission, the baby that want to do, they say, by the time the baby born, you see the aba open. Then a bad baby. So if the election commission wanted to cheat this election, this one, they would have done that earlier. Because they would have started practicing how they can cheat. How are you getting the point?
So there wouldn't be a a second round in these elections. There would not be the second round. The first round, and then it's over.
a one round, Sam. It's a one round deal. You see, the way the president, I listened to some, yeah, Liberia, man, I don't know. They say if the man had done good for the Liberian, but why you should campaign? Does it make sense?
That's what the law say, campaign.
Yeah, they say why the president should go all there in the ring. I mean, in marketing, they say if you are won certain percentage of the market share, don't sit down and wait for your competitors. Continue to push ahead. Continue to push ahead. Even if you myself were in a race, running race, we sort of reach to Vartan, but we started from 5th Street. If I'm here, right here, to your station, will I be waiting for you? Because you have no. I must continue.
Yeah, you got to keep on telling the people what you have done, what you
Simple as
intend,
that.
and a lot more.
Obama went for a second round, the second term, rather. Obama was all over the stage. So I mean, Liberian people, we are so myopic in thinking. I mean, we don't have that kind of ability to see things from far.
So you are convinced that it is going to go President Weah's way.
Sam, it's a done deal.
That to bring Joe Barker into such an equation is a mismatch, or will be a
No.
mismatch interpretatively.
Joe had already lost, and Joe he knows that. Joe knows that. Ambassador Barker knows that. It's just that those young guys, they want to see their way to the other side. Like they are using Paul Biya in Cameroon. That's the kind of thing they want to do. Paul Biya is working with King, and a 2-year-old man who doing the work that those young boys then.
And this one, what is his age?
82.
Joe Barker, 82?
The old man is 82.
82 years
The old
old?
man was 76 when he was vice president to Ellen. So if you add age to the other one, is what?
We are told 76, and I may not be definitive.
He's 76?
I'm told.
Stop.
He's 82.
So are you telling me that Ambassador?
That's why I said I may
So
not
are
be
you saying that
definitive.
Ambassador Burger was 70 years when you were or running mate to, or when you were vice president of Ellen?
So he's 82, going beyond that.
Well, Ambassador was 76 at the time.
So he's frail.
Ambassador Burger should go and sit down and take care of your grandchildren and great grandchildren. This thing is for the young people. This thing, if you listen to this guy, Mo Ibrahim, this Sudanese American millionaire or billionaire, who they can get a prize, the Nobel Prize watcher.
Or the Mo Ibrahim.
Yeah. He's calling Mo. That's a name.
Yeah.
I just like it's a Sudanese American.
Yeah.
Fine. You know what he said? It's low. Africa, let to take the country to the grave. He said, do not allow your country, do not take your country to the grave. Why you are saying? You are comparing those young leaders and the old leaders. And you understand that? Yes.
So between the two of them, his rival is younger, vibrant, effective, full-sighted.
But what management told us, one of the characteristics in management said two characteristics. Firstly, the leader must be physically balanced, mentally awake, and the rest of that. Because as a leader, you must be vibrant. You must have that vigor in you. But it doesn't mean, it means a lot. Then when we are saying that they can compare Ambassador Burger to that of Joe Biden, the society are two different societies.
He can crisscross the entire country, especially with the rain season. The rain season on.
He cannot walk. He will not walk far distance. Ambassador Burger just they want to suffer that old man. The energy. The old man does not have that energy. You know what happened to Biden? Biden to claim oil helicopter. You know what happened to Biden? Because he's an old man. You want to be like, you try to think about Obama during the days when Obama was president. The way Obama can move. Obama was a young man at the time. So Obama claimed on a helicopter. You see how you can move fast. He wants to do that. He failed. So many times the women are falling. Women body. Age that age. You cannot cheat age. Let's be very real. You cannot cheat age. Mr. Andrews?
You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakatama Gibi County. Voice of Liberia online radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, Facebook, Voice of Liberia. Just put in the search box, Voice of Liberia. My guest this morning on the show, Liberian professor, university professor, Arakofa Claw, academician, politician also. So you want to ask him some questions, you got all the questions, you got, do it on 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Go straight to the point. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, I want to tell the studio guys in studio. Thank
Your
you.
name, your name. Let the professor know who is
I'm
calling.
Joe. I will call from Conway.
Joe Roberts.
Why I want to say that the National Election Commission was appointed by the president to do a work, and the world is watching. If you have financial issues, you have said area that to present the photo update to the opposition party. And we're talking about peace in Liberia.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. 0770907907. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. For me, it's my name once again.
You speak louder so we understand you.
For me, it's my name. Next time, let's speak that.
Hey, my man, Sammy what? Sammy, that I need that you said Sammy what? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, let's hear you. Good afternoon.
Hello, this is Abraham Edwards, and I speak to you from my resident in Korea, Brazil.
Let's hear you, Abraham Edwards.
Well, I want to ask the professor in studio what the age has to do, what is the effect of the age when it comes to presidency? Let him explain to us so we can understand, because you keep talking about the young people thing.
Okay.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Peter David Castle. I call from another street that is
Let's hear you, Peter Castle.
Yeah, let me say thank you and then to your student guests and for the fascinating discussion. You know, you have just said everything correctly. Let me tell you, people are doubting the first round victory for His Excellency that George Stanawia. The first round victory is 13. That has been a practical right in Lofa County. I hear from Lofa. Yesterday, when you go to Lofa, you talk about CDC, it was like taboo. But what we have observed over the period, and when the president entered this particular election, and Lofa have accepted the first round victory, our messages are vaccinated by our people.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, man. I think you are still there. You shared a good point. I'm the carrier of the yeah, but one thing, the Liberia attack with the government. The Liberia attack with the government. The person in the country is very bad. Getting people, no job, people suffering. So people attack with the government.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon.
Yeah, the owner.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Joseph Lamo Photo. Also to one on your Joseph.
Let's hear you, Joseph Lambo.
I don't want to say that the bank put with the government here. See, it's a party with this government. Don't say the Liberian people. That is the misleading information they always get the Liberian people. The Liberian people. You know who we.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Aaron T. Minjo calling from Balance Kaba.
Let's hear you, Aaron.
Yeah, I just want to appreciate your studio guests in studio. You know, when people are saying why President Weah should campaign because he said that he is a death sentence that was funny. Yeah, it's sure he is a death sentence that was funny. But I will refer the post the back today. During that 12 years, during the 12 years, why? Joseph Boka and campaign when they know that they are doing well for the Liberia doing the first thing. Why the campaign and they went in the ring from place to place?
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon. You're on the air. Let's hear you. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Thomas.
You want to speak louder. You want to speak louder.
I am. How are you?
Yeah. What is your name and where you calling from?
So I said, my name is Thomas and I'm calling now.
Thomas Tugbe. You're in the you're in the midst of your loud voices. 0770907907. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, my name is Thomas.
Yeah, let's hear you.
I want to talk to your senior guest.
Yeah, ask him whatever your question.
Yeah, he kept emphasizing on Joe Braga. And for me to know that Joe Braga is not the only candidate in the race. And the second one, I want to ask him what's the maximum age that you can stop those people running for presidency? Because he keeps saying Joe Braga is cool. Is there any kind of range?
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. 0770907907. It's 0907-907. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes.
This is Haji Baga, my second time Grand Kimo County.
Let's hear you, Haji.
Yeah, the United Party now will know where they start going to call. I think after the first round, they will go to court again. So that means the must come back to go to court more. This coming around, the first round is for PDC. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Mavis. We are calling from a Concord resident.
Let's hear you, Eric.
I just want to say felicitation to your student guest. Well, you have said it all. In fact, I love it, but just by listening to him, my head starts to be restored. I think that what all he said is a very, very realistic statement he made. George Weah is bearing for a well-round victory against the party.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I'm calling on Canada Blue Street. My name is Canada.
Hi, it's Kakata this afternoon. Let's hear you.
Yeah, the senior girl, you're talking about all wrong people. We are telling you to do from my house. We are no other country, but Maggie country. At the end of the day, the way I get all wrong people. Enough of Maggie, they do all that, the way it's up.
But I'm not Maggie election we're talking about. I want a representative and senatorial election. We're talking about the man talking about presidential election.
Even nobody talking about.
All right, Chief. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, let's do it quick so the professor can respond.
This is John Williams. You know, looking at the whole thing, we realize that, in fact, Joe Barker is going to win this thing under any circumstances, because if George Weah has done a very good job, there will be no need for him to go on campaigning and so forth and so forth. And the guy up there who is in the studio, I won't adopt him whether he's, in fact, a master's holder, because he don't even analyze him. These are the people who call them gravy seekers.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. He will address you intellectually. Professor Clark?
Okay. Thank you so much. We want to thank all those who are called and to hear from us. Joe Robert talked about financial issue. Why NEC couldn't come out and talk about financial, and now they are talking about that. For me, that answer is not my answer. I'm not going to respond to that. As far as we know, we said the election should be free and fair and violent free. So I know that they're going to respond to that as quickly as possible, and they're going to bring that voter roll up. And the next point is Abraham Edward talk about what is the age. You know, probably people will not understand. If you were at the age of 10 and you reach the age of 20, what you should do at the age of 10 will be different from what you should do at the age of 20. The first thing we are talking about agility. And my concern was not on Ambassador Boyka, but the discussion took us to that level. So another issue whether maximum age or not maximum age. Why I said that at the job side, they can say when you reach 65, you must be retired. Why they can get that time? But in politics, it is the understanding of the people within that body politics in that nation. Because the war is gravitating from one point to another. And the war now is looking at young generation of leaders. So if you heard about young generation of leaders, they're not talking about old generation of leaders. The war will continue to tell you we need young generation of leaders. So it's not an issue whether they have a maximum age or they do not have a maximum age. What you used to do at the age of 60, you cannot do it at the age of 70. What you used to do at the age of 50, you can't do it. So the issue is we are saying at this level, we need a young generation of leadership. So that's what we are telling you. The next person, okay, Casa is on board. He said one round victory is certain. Then Kwawe, he talk about we tired, no job, people killing, and the rest of that. I don't understand that. When you say you tired with what? Tired with what? He said no job. Jobs are there. Jobs are here. You have to create job for yourself. It not everybody government create job for. It's not everybody. Government cannot create job for everybody. And there are companies here that you can go to. But some people don't want to do anything. They do not want to do. Even those who claim that they are working, they will leave their job kind of building around, going up and down. So what do you want for government? I've been doing the best. The last time when the president was saying, the president said, look, those of you that want to apply. Some people don't want to apply for a job, but they don't want to get on the silver platter. It does not work that way.
Okay.
Then the next person, we talk about Aaron, Nigeria, okay. And that man talk. I finished with the issue of the age. Magibi. We aren't talking about Magibi part is certain that job we're going to work Magibi. So it's not that individual talking, you are individual, you are talking. It's a job we're not going to win. You will see yourself that job we are going to win Magibi, no matter what. So we're going to be one Magibi. How do you call him? One worker from Kakata. Then we'll talk about John Williams. Anyway, so all in all, what we want to tell you, every one of you guys, somebody say, oh, the man, he does not speak like somebody, he can analyze. It's left to you. That's your own power that you how you want to see me. But I'm not in your line because I'm not in your line. You will want to use other means. I mean, I don't want people know me, what I stand for, and my power of analysis.
Who you are.
Yeah, the kind of person I am. So the fact of the
Well,
matter
you got a
is,
culture. You heard that yeah, I wonder what he owes a master
yeah.
degree. You having the word professor academic shit. That's the kind of society where
Yeah, so
once,
you got nine
once you're not flowing
Yeah.
away, so you
So I don't have problem with you.
so,
Resent.
so if you are flowing his way,
Yeah.
yeah, the real professor.
So however, we want to, encourage every one of you guys and thank all of you guys who are called. We just want for you to remain calm. We don't believe in fighting. We believe in peace. And we want for the nation to flow what the president has done and continue to do. We want for the president to go for his second term to complete. You see Liberia connected. You see Liberia connected. So we need your vote. You are talking. I know that if you go in that box, I know you're going to vote for Georgia. You just doing all you guys are doing sure. You all go there and vote for the president. And we want to thank you for calling and for your contribution. We're always ready to talk to you guys, and we are encouraged, but don't fight, please. If you are doing a debate in your community, don't fight. Please, we don't want fighting. We don't want this and that. We want peace. As the president always told us, peace. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Okay, he's Liberian University Professor Ara Kofa, my guest this afternoon on the show. Bits and pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1, Marovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7, Kakata, Magibi County, Voice of Liberia Online Radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, Facebook, Voice of Liberia. Thank you ever so much, Professor Claw, for coming in. We look forward to talking with you as the events unfold with the passage of time, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Andrew. It's my pleasure as always.
So let's say thank you ever so much to the guys in Kakata, Magibi County, headed by Daniel Salif Secret. Thank you ever so much for keeping things on right on that side. And also Ibrahim Dentewia, who is my able lieutenant in studio. My name is Sam Andrews. We'll talk tomorrow again, if God permits.